Superman bike here. Quick review. Last time we were trying to make the crank and had problems warping our center sprocket. So this time for day 3, we decided we were going to draw it up and do it right. We're going to build our own crank from scratch, minus, well, the sprocket. So this is the progress about halfway through. You'll notice that we've got a big center plate. And what we did, well, the axle is a 5/8 inch cold rolled steel, so we drilled a 5/8 inch hole into our tube stock and installed that there. Also, we just installed our pedals. You notice that the metal part of the pedals, it is steel, but it's got a coating on that, so we had to grind it off. It's not good to weld through a coating. It won't stick, and also it can make toxic fumes. So in the center, you notice the big plate there. That was dissipating a lot of the heat so that we didn't warp the sprocket, and we were oh wow, okay, we're jumping to when it's installed. Now we're trying to mimic where the crank should be, and also how high we need the center joint to be so that we can get the exit position. So here is the crank. Put some more welding time into it, locked in those each of the individual cranks, and it turned out to be spinning pretty much perfectly straight. We're real happy the way that turned out. So take a look there. It's a pipe with 2 pressed bearings, 5/8 inch cold rolled steel through the center. Installed the foot pedals just from a standard adult size bicycle, and we've made our own crank. So there's the bearings in there too. Turned out that a mallet does just fine instead of the hydraulic press, and it's a little faster to get the bearings into the pipe. Anyway, here we're trying to mock up the system. It turns out if we tie it down, it will stand on its own, and if you wedge some pieces in between the front and back fork. This led to the idea of the suspension being there, and this was a kind of a stressful moment. That spring was in there really loosely, and we thought it'd be shooting out of there like a rocket, but anyway, it was good to get the testing data. Turned out that it was sagging a little lower than we needed, so we figured we'd throw in 2 springs. And at the end of day 3, we had a rolling chassis with propulsion about halfway done and a suspension in the works. And it looks pretty interesting. We're excited to see how it turns out. There's version 1.0 and there's version 2.0.